Hi folks, I hope that you guys are doing pretty well. Yeah, so today is Tuesday, the 11th of July, 2023. And yeah, I just come to downtown Sydney today, just basically to eat out, go to a nice restaurant, have a good meal, and things like that. And yeah, I'm just doing a little bit of shopping, and I thought to myself that I should come past our usual spot and do a video for you guys to edify the church, at least with something. Then in this video, I wanted to talk about those people that are going out at the Rapture of the church. Now, I did a little bit of Google search, and apparently there are 2.6 billion Christians. Okay, so Christianity is the biggest religion worldwide, if you like, but we Christians, we know that we are not in a religion, we have a relationship with God, right? Now, the second biggest religion, if you like, is the Islam religion, okay, or the Muslims. They are roughly 2 billion people. Third are the Hindus, 1.2 billion. And fourth are the Buddhists, 506 million people. And you can look at these figures if you do a Google search for yourselves. So yeah, this is pretty interesting. Now, the rapture of the church is only for Christians, and so if we have 2.6 billion Christians around the world right now, that's roughly a quarter of the entire world population will go out at the rapture of the church. Now, within Christianity, then, there are circles out there who say that not all Christians will go out at the rapture of the church. It really depends if you believe on the gospel or not and things like that. Look, I don't want to argue about this issue, if you like. As far as I'm concerned, only God knows who's going out at the rapture of the church. God knows which Christians are going out at the rapture of the church. Now, we know that we've got to believe in the gospel of salvation, okay? Found in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 1 to 4. How Jesus died on the cross and he shed his blood, okay? Jesus needed to shed his blood in order to mark the blood atonement for our sins. Jesus' blood now is in the Ark of the Covenant in heaven and also in earth, okay? Yes, in the Ark of the Covenant in earth as well, but anyway, he was buried and rose again according to the scriptures, okay? So you got to believe this by faith, okay? So make sure that if you want to know that you're going out at the rapture of the church, that you believe in the gospel of salvation, okay? Just basically believe what Jesus did at the cross, that he shed his blood, that he was buried and rose again on the third day according to the scriptures. And I believe this in your heart, okay? Because you need to believe this by faith alone, not of works. It's nothing that you done that saves you. It is a gift of God, lest any man should boast. Okay, so we are only saved by the grace of God, okay? It is a gift of God because all of us have fallen short of the glory of God. All of us are sinners. All of us were born through the endemic seed of Adam and Eve. They sinned, and therefore they lost the Holy Spirit, okay? And so, the whole Bible is basically about the rescue plan that God has for us, for our redemption, if you like, That's what the Bible is really all about. It's a rescue plan, if you think about it, how God sent all the prophets, how Jesus came, how we're going to have the rapture of the church, soon. It's not imminent, no. The rapture of the church is actually prophetic, okay? It's prophetic. Exactly, folks. And it's not emotional, no. Just because you think that, just because, you get a little bit of emotional and you see, the whole world disintegrating around you, somehow you tie that into the rapture of the church. No. The doctrine of the imminency of the rapture of the church, all it is a fable, a made-up fable that doesn't have any legs to stand up on, because I've done many videos about this. Now, I don't want to keep this video too long, but, the rapture of the church cannot happen soon or any moment, because God sent prophets to prophesy, like I was talking about. We got this prophecy in Isaiah 17.1, we got the Elam prophecy found in Jeremiah 49, we got the Ezekiel war, we got the signing of the covenant, we got the third temple, and all these are needed before the rapture of the church and not after, before, okay? And no, there is no such thing as a gap theory. If you read, from the first book in the Bible, Genesis, from Genesis 1.1 to where we are right now, in the dispensations that we had so far, there has never been a gap. Okay, now I know that you gappers, are really busting for a cappuccino break. Listen, when we have, after the Bema judgment seat of Christ, when we have the marriage supper all then you can have your cappuccino, okay? But there's not such a thing as a gap theory, that is also another invented fable, just like the doctrine of the imminency or the rapture of the church, because quite clearly the end time Bible prophecies say that they are going to come to pass in the last days or in the later years of the church age. These prophecies of Elam, the Civil War and the Third Temple, they don't say and they shall come to pass during the tribulation period or during the millennial. No, quite clearly they say during the end times where we are right now. So we're going to see them, folks, and we're going to live through them, I did a video a long time ago saying that, hey, many of you that think that, the rapture of the church is imminent, you're going to be proven wrong and you're going to be walking back with your tiles between your legs. Remember that video? That prophecy of mine still stands because, you will be walking back with your tiles between your legs, like I said on that video, because, the prophecy that I can tell you about, for the exception of maybe Isaiah 17.1, then the rest all will come to pass during the church age. Even the covenant of Daniel 9:27, the covenant of Daniel 9:27 cannot happen during the trip. No, you know why? Why? How do you think Israel is going to rebuild the third temple unless they sign that covenant as what Daniel 9:27? Israel cannot rebuild the third temple, at any moment just because they said to themselves, hey, I think I'm going to be scratching my head here and, why don't we rebuild the third temple? They can't do that. They need permission from the Messiah. Exactly, folks. And this can only happen at the end of the Civil War. I've done many videos on this. So the covenant will come to pass during the church age. And also the covenant is a warning prophecy as well. It's a warning prophecy as well from God, warning the nation of Israel that, hey, you're going to be signing a covenant and you're going to get yourself into trouble because, also if you read Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 7 and Isaiah 28:15 and even Daniel 12.1, these four Bible prophecies are warning prophecies or end time Bible prophecies that are warning Israel, hey Israel, you're going to get yourself into trouble. I'm warning you now before, you head into the tribulation period. So, folks, you need to have the discernment. I've done many videos telling you how all this is going to happen, and I don't want to repeat myself, but, I keep hearing Christians and they're on YouTube coming up with various, rapture theories and formulas and numbers, and they also get emotional, how they see the geopolitical disintegrating and they scratch their heads and they say, in the next 5 minutes, and it never happens, You say the rapture of the church can happen at any moment, it's imminent, and it never happens. Let me ask you this question, why it doesn't happen, the rapture? Why? Because of that. And until you get that fruit into your skull, the 5, you're not going to understand how the rapture of the church is going to happen. It's purely prophetic. Even in the pieces of Paul, regarding the, the mystery of the rapture of the church, is prophetic. The rapture of the church is a synchronous, prophetic process of these 5 end-time Bible prophecies. That once Israel finishes rebuilding the third temple, then we'll have the rapture of the church. Because after the third temple, we are no longer needed here. Why else do we want to stay when Moses and Elijah already have the third temple ready to prophesy for exactly 1,260 days, Now, after the rapture of the church, Moses and Elijah are going to rock up immediately in Israel to prophesy for 1,260 days immediately after the rapture of the church, because it has been prophesied in the book of Revelation 11, immediately there's not going to be any gaps, no gaps whatsoever. And the third temple is not going to be rebuilt during the tribulation period, because the third temple has been prophesied by Isaiah in chapter 2, Isaiah chapter 2 verse 2 and 3, and Micah chapter 4 verse 1 and 2, that is going to be rebuilt, fully finished and established at the end of the church age where we are right now, okay? We know that the tribulation period is precisely for 7 years, okay? Now, if you read the book of Revelation, okay, I repeat myself to make a point here, nowhere in the book of Revelation, which is a precise book, I repeat, a precise book that tells us pretty much what's going to happen during, the tribulation period, okay, but it's a bit more than that. Of course, it tells us about the millennial kingdom, and we got the message for, the 7 churches, okay? Now, disregard those, but, for the sake of, my argument here, then the book of Revelation tells us precisely what's going to happen during the trib, and it doesn't say in the book of Revelation, hey, we're going to see the Elam Bible prophecy. It doesn't say Isaiah 17. It doesn't say, the secret word of 38, 39, and rebuilding the third temple. No, all these prophecies are going to come to pass during the church age. Now, with regards to Isaiah 17.1, it's probably a high probability that will come to pass during the church age, because I'm talking about Damascus being a heap of ruin, because Israel is bombarding Damascus on a regular basis, he says, because Iran is bringing or smuggling in weapons. It's bringing in weapons into Syria, and then they get smuggled to Hamas and Hezbollah. So it's a probability, but if it doesn't happen, it probably could happen also during the Ezekiel earthquake, okay, the Ezekiel 38 earthquake. Then don't forget that Damascus is only a very close distance from the Golan Heights. I believe it's roughly 150 miles or 250 kilometers. So, for an earthquake, for the wise, if you like, to travel, or the shock was to travel, with this Ezekiel earthquake, all the way to Damascus, it's only a short distance. It could also perhaps happen during the earthquake of the tribulation period, or even when Jesus touches down at the Mount of Olives, when the Mount of Olives is, is split in half, if you like. So it's a possibility. So we've got to be mindful of that. But nonetheless, we're going to be here to fight the fight. Or why do you think that Israel hasn't rebuilt the third temple yet? Because they need to wait after the secret war of 38, 39, because when Israel rebuild the third temple, or start rebuilding, they need to be at peace. There cannot be a war. So, I'm just saying, folks, I've done many videos, and, my videos are not theories. They're not theories. I base, my opinion on the end times precisely and literally, or literal, if you like, with what the Bible teaches. When I read the Bible and it says to me that, hey, Elam, Ezekiel 38, 39, a third temple will come to pass during the church age, or later years, or in the last days, I believe what the Bible tells me. The Bible is 100% correct and literal, so it's not like I'm making this up, that these 5 will happen, somehow in your dreams after the rapture of the church. No, this is going to happen before the rapture of the church and not after. And I'm just trying to educate you guys, because I look at many YouTube videos out there, and people just don't seem to have the discernment to be able to understand the end time Bible prophecies. And you got to understand the nuts and bolts of all this, otherwise the rapture of the church is going to attack you by surprise. And if you're a Bible scholar, or an ordained minister, in other words, you're a pastor, you need to understand this, because you need to educate your own flocks on how all this is going to come about. And, I'm hearing out there, when I look at different pastors' YouTube channels, and I read comments that people are making on their videos, people say, oh, I can't wait for the rapture, I'm really stressed out. I can't live anymore. And, they're all panicking and scratching their heads and looking at their watches, And many top-notch Bible scholars have watched my videos here, and they have learned from me how the rapture of the church is gonna come about, because it was God who gave me all the knowledge, put it all into my head. I'm the first person in the world to have deciphered the rapture of the church correctly. And I'm gonna be proven right on this very, very soon. Israel will have to, probably gonna be doing the Ilan Baal prophecy first to take care of Iranians. The nuclear program, which is a huge threat to Israel, to the nation of Israel. So probably they're gonna be doing Ilan first, but it wouldn't surprise me if they do Isaiah first. Or even both of them simultaneously at the same time. And, there is talk out there in the media as well, from reports that I'm reading, that Israel is also going to take care of Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, okay? So they're probably going to do Hezbollah in southern Lebanon at the same time while they do, the Ilan Baal prophecy. And, it makes perfect sense to me. They've done training, drills, and things like that. So, and of course, this is then what triggers Ezekiel Water 38, and that Ezekiel Water is not going to take long either. I've done videos on this. When God shows out to show His mighty power, it is going to be quick and swift. So think of Exodus. But anyway, after that, we'll see the signing of the covenant, so that Israel can build the third temple, and then Israel's Messiah will come out at the end of the third temple. Covenant sign here, then bang, rapture of the church. We are no longer needed after that. And then obviously we're going to have the two witnesses. But yeah, to all those people that watch my videos and they are not of the Christian faith, let's just say that your religion is other than Christianity, then you will stay here to suffer the tribulation period, and God is going to dish out 24 sets of punishments. You got, the 7 seals, the 7 trumpets, the 7 bowls, and the 3 woes. And, just surviving, even the first seal when the Antichrist comes out, we're going to have immediately World War III. We're going to have famine, pestilence. There's going to be lack of food. You'll be lucky to make it past, the tribulation period, So to all those people that are non-Christians, once you are out during the tribulation period, you're going to be in a huge shock. You're going to wish that you had believed on Jesus, okay? I'll suggest that you get a Bible, okay? And read the book of Revelation, which is the last book in the Christian Bible, okay? And that will tell you what you're going to be in for. So I suggest that, anyone who is not Christian, if you want to go out at the rapture, okay, then believe what Jesus did at the cross. Basically, you got to believe in the gospel of salvation. Basically, you got to believe that Jesus died on the cross and that He was buried and rose again according to the scriptures, okay, or according to the Christian Bible. And I'm warning you now because, the rapture of the church is in a little while. It's not imminent. It's probably going to be at least, I would say, maybe 2 years away. We haven't seen Israel done any of the 5. And to be quite honest, I can't see the rapture of the church in 2024. I can't see it. I think it's too soon now. This is going to cause panic to some of my subscribers who, they see the geopolitical and they get panic stricken. They don't think about the end times. They don't really care about the end time Bible prophecies. They completely dismiss and put them in the bin, and close the Bible and forget about it. And they say to themselves, or they deceive themselves, okay, they deceive themselves thinking that these 5 are for after the rapture of the church. They don't want to borrow, but they don't want to hear it. And, you will live through them. Unfortunately, you will live through them because that has been prophesied, and I'm not making this up. It's all in the Bible. So I just told you that when I read Elam, Ezekiel, and Third Temple, they say that they're all for the later years of the church age. So, you know, and you know, folks, you know, like you really have to understand this. You know, like you know, you have to understand the Bible prophecies, and you know, 2024. When you think about rebuilding the third temple, is too soon, because don't forget then that, and I said it respectfully, you know, like you know, the Alaska Mosque and the Dome of the Rock will have to be demolished, because it has been prophesied that, you know, the third temple, you know, is going to exalt itself. You know, God cannot have any competition up there on top of Temple Mount. So, and I say that respectfully because, you know, there could be other people from other faiths watching my channel, and so when you think about demolishing of the Dome of the Rock and the Alaska, and then rebuilding of Israel's third temple according to Ezekiel chapter 40 to 48, then it's going to take a while, right? Construction can take a little while. So, you know, 2024 is too soon, folks, you know. I thought that perhaps not long ago, I would have said, probably at the beginning of this year, in 2023, I would have said that how it's possible in 24, but maybe right at the end of 24. But now that Israel hasn't done not even one of the five, then you know, I would say 2025. I would probably say middle of 2025 to you know, middle of 2026. That's when I see the rapture of the church. To be quite honest with you, if you were to ask me, okay, just give it to me straight, when do you see the rapture? I see it, folks, you know, I would say probably midway 2026, you know. You know, this is going to shock a lot of people, but, you know, this is an informed opinion of mine, because when you think about rebuilding, you know, the third temple and things like that. So, and also don't forget that some rabbis are saying that, you know, at the end of the Silky War, that they're going to take the full 7 months to bury the dead according to Ezekiel 39. So, you know, if you take, you know, after the Silky War, if you take 7 months, okay, and you add that 7 months plus then, you know, respectfully demolishing the Alaska and the Dome of the Rock, and then having to rebuild the third temple, it's going to take a little bit of time, folks, you know. So, you know, 2026 also is, you know, is the cutoff point or the cutoff year, if you like, because then we got to add the 7 years on top, okay, to fulfill the prophecy in Hosea chapter 6, verse 2, after 2 days I will rise thee. So 2026 has to be the cutoff point for the church to go out at the rapture. So, you know, I got a little bit of thought, and I'm of the opinion, of the view, that I'll see the rapture in midway 2026, in my view. But although I'm not setting a date for the rapture, okay, of course it can happen a little bit earlier, or even in 25 perhaps, somewhere in midway 25, or, you know, towards the end of 25. So, but at this stage, I would say midway 2026. And I'm not one of those that is emotional about the rapture of the church. Like, I'm not an emotionalist. Look, don't get me wrong, I want Jesus to pick us up, because things are getting progressively worse. You know, you only got to look at the geopolitical, you know, the cost of living is biting, interest rates are biting. You know, there are reports in the media here in Australia saying that people are beginning to skip one meal. They're cutting out on, you know, luxury expenses and things like that, just to make ends meet, you know. So yeah, the cost of living is biting. So yeah, you know, it's, you know, obviously all of us are gonna wish for the rapture of the church, you know, as soon as possible. But you know, I'm someone that's faithfully pragmatic, and I believe that it's a prophetic process, okay. And I, you know, as a Bible believer, I gotta have faith in the end time Bible prophecies. I'm sorry, you might get emotional and you might not care, and close the book on the faith and say to yourself, or deceive yourself, sorry, who cares? There for the trip. I don't really care about the church in the next 5 minutes. It doesn't work like that, folks. Jesus did say that, every single Bible prophecy will come to pass, come might no matter what. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but not my words. So, I believe in the end time Bible prophecies, folks. And I'm very pragmatic about this. I want Jesus to come. Of course. I mean, I wish we could have the rapture of the church right now and be done with it, but it's a prophetic process, folks. And if we are to believe in Jesus, if we are to believe in the Bible, if we are to be truly Christians, then we've got to believe in everything that the Bible teaches us. We can't just pick and choose. And you might say to me, well, you can have your own opinion about the rapture. We have around. We say it's imminent and it can happen at any moment. It's not going to work out that way, because I told you that Elam, Ezekiel 38, 39, and Third Temple have all been prophesied for the latter years where we are now, or the last days of the church age. So, how you guys can buy into that theory that the rapture of the church is imminent without being prophetic, I don't know. I will pray for you. So I will pray that you change your mind, because, what else can I do? We got to be real, folks. We got to keep it real. Can I say it again? We got to keep it real. The only theory regarding the rapture of the church is the prophetic theory. It's the only one that's going to work. Now, any other theory out there, I don't think it has any legs to stand on, because we know that we got to wait for these synchronous end time Bible prophecies that needed to come to pass one at a time in order, so that then we can have the rapture of the church, okay? Because, you can't have the third temple right now, without having the secret world first. And you can't have a secret without having Elam or Isaiah as a trigger. So, it's all synchronous and prophetic. I'm the first person in the world to decipher the rapture of the church, the first person in the world, to decipher when Israel will rebuild the third temple. And, I came from, I guess, practically knowing nothing, about the Bible. I've only been studying the Bible maybe a year and a half and a bit more. And practically I went from 0 to 100 in a short period of time. And that's because God has given me the knowledge, of how all this is going to happen, I practically went from 0 to being a Chachamim Navi, in a very short period of time. So, just saying, folks, I'm just here, folks, to pass on the message and the knowledge that God has given me, to be, God has given me the powers to be able to discern how all this is going to happen in the church age. And, my job is to pass it on to you, just like it says in Ezekiel 33. If you've been given eyes to see, then warn others, So, I'm just warning you, folks, I have no other interest than to tell you how all this is going to happen for your own benefit, so that, you don't deceive yourselves with fables, or you don't fall into false doctrine on this. I'm just here to help you guys, but anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to my trip in Israel at the end of the year. I'd like to go in December, pardon me, but I would really like to go at the end of the secret war, once I know that there is peace. The last thing I want to do is go to Israel, and then all of a sudden at the end of the year you got Elam and then Ezekiel. It'll be a very expensive proposition to stay in Israel. Israel's a very expensive country, beautiful country. When I watch videos on Israel, I watch Jerusalem Walker and Relaxing Walker on YouTube. Some of you might know them. And I can see why God has chosen Israel. It's a beautiful country, I like to go there, but yeah, I just like to see the back end of this Ezekiel war. I like to go there when there is peace. And also because I've got to come back to my studies, my family, and things like that. And You know, and I got my life here, folks, you know. So, but, you know, yeah, I'm looking at, you know, the cost. Because I'm a uni student, I got a car and I can get some discounts on the airfares. They vary roughly from 2,500 Australian dollars to 4,500 Australian. It also depends on what time of the year you go and what airline you go as well. Like I know LR, the Israeli Airways, comes here to Sydney, so there's actually three ways of me getting to Israel. It'll be going by LR, and then it stops, I believe, in Thailand. There's a layover there for like 7.5 hours, and then it lands in Tel Aviv. The other option is to go through Turkish Airlines, okay? And I will go from Sydney to Istanbul, and then there's a layover there for like 7 hours, something like that, and then obviously to Tel Aviv. And then the other third option is using Air India Airlines, if you like. And so I will land in Delhi in India, and there's another layover there for 7 hours, and then to Tel Aviv. So I much prefer to go with El Al, you know, give my business to Israel. But we'll see what happens, folks. You know, yeah, accommodation, it varies where you go. I will probably choose hostels because they're a lot cheaper. And all I need a hostel is just a bed, because then the following day I'm going to be out on the road, you know, going to look at all the attractions now. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this, for example, like I'm not, you know, if I'm going to do it on a package deal where, you know, you just rock up, you get out of the hotel and there'll be a bus waiting for you to take you to all the attractions. That would be the easiest thing to do. Or if I just land in Tel Aviv and then do my own thing from there, you know. So we'll see what happens, folks. You know, it's a bit early days yet. I'm looking around and things like that. So, but anyway, sorry for keeping this video long, half an hour. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say, folks. You know, like just, you know, if you're not sure about the end time Bible prophecies, then reading for yourselves, you know. All right, folks, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.